progress with today's Tuesday teaching tip. Today's Tuesday teaching tip is about using a multi-sensory approach to teaching reading and writing to those students who have difficulty learning. This can also be used for difficulty learning math as well. This multi-sensory approach uses both left and right brain activities to stimulate both sides of the brain at the same time. When you do that for students who are having difficulties with basic reading and writing tasks, it helps solidify that learning. So what do I mean about a multi-sensory approach? When we're teaching letters and letter sounds, a lot of times for students that don't have difficulties learning, it's a fairly simple, straightforward process. There's a lot of great curriculum out there that help teach students to read. But when you have somebody who is struggling, you may have multiple children, and it was easy to teach a couple of the children, and this third one is just not getting it as easily as the other two. So this multisensory approach will help. With this multisensory approach, you want to use visual, tactile, and auditory ways of getting these same lessons taught. And so I'm going to give you some examples of what I mean. So just to keep it simple, I'm going to do a simple word, cat. So you're going to say, okay, well, you're learning the letters. Remember we learned the letter C the other day. Here's the letter C. Now with this letter that I have here, there's a smooth side. So this is the side I want you to focus on. Because on the other side we have a magnet and it's indented here. This is the side that I want you to focus on. So here's the letter C. So your spelling list today is cat. So here's the next letter, A. So feel the A. We're looking at the smooth side, not the open side. So A. And here's the letter T. Again, we're looking at the smooth side and feeling the smooth side instead of the back side. All right, so I'm going to shake these letters up. I want you to turn around, and I'm going to put one of the letters in your hand. And that letter is either going to be the C, the A, or the T. And you can write those down on the board so that they're looking at them. So you shake them up, and you give them a letter to feel. So they're going to get this letter, and they'll have it behind their back, and they're going to feel. So what they're having to do right now, behind their back, is feel the shape of that letter. So they're feeling the C, and they're trying to formulate a picture in their head of what that is. So remember, you're writing the letters down, C-A-T, on a board for them to look at so that they don't confuse this with a U or any other letters that are similar to this shape. So then they're feeling this letter, feeling the smooth side of the letter, and trying to match it to the letter on the board. It's like, oh, that must be the C. All right, let's check to find out. And then they get to check to find out. And then they'll put this letter next to the corresponding letter you wrote on the board. All right, so I'm going to shake it up. Put this other letter behind your back. And I want you to feel that letter with your fingers without looking, and tell me, is it the A or is it the T? And so you do this for some of the letters, some of the words that they're having difficulties remembering. And because you're using a multisensory approach, they're feeling, they're looking at the same time. It helps them remember. It helps solidify the learning. So again, another tactile approach is using, and I just put dishwashing liquid. I don't know if you're able to see it in here. You can get a darker color. You can add food coloring to this. It's nice and squishy. And so you're saying, okay, we're going to write the letters in here. So C, you're having trouble with the letter C. And this again will be flat on a piece of, on a table. And so whenever you say, okay, I want you to write the letter C, so you squish it out, so you have it nice and full and it's ready to go. They're able to see the letter C written down here. It's kind of hard to see on my hand. When it's flat on a table, you're able to see it. I'm going to erase it. Okay, erase it. You get to flatten it out. All right, let's do the A. So now I'm going to draw the A in this. And so then again, you'll get to see, it's kind of hard to see here, but you'll see the A. They'll be able to see it as well. You can use all kinds of stuff. You can use shaving cream on a table to do that. You can fill this with gel. You can fill it with glue. You can use colored glue in here. So a variety of things that you can use to make one of these sensory packets. So it's nice and squishy, and it's easy to write on, and it's easy to erase. One of the other things, you can use a number of things: colorful sand, you can use some dirt from outside. Right here I have coffee grounds, and it smells so good, and so you can, all right, now let's write cat in here. So you write E, and again they're feeling it. There's the A, and here's the T. So you have the C, the A, and the T. Again, it's that multi-sensory approach. So then you're going to erase it, and then you're going to go to your next word, or practice C-A-T again. C-A-T. So they do that for either the letters that they're forgetting, the words that they're forgetting how to spell. So they're using that tactile approach. And it's also visual. So at the same time, you're learning the letters, you see them written up there, they're writing it in the coffee grounds or their colorful sand, and then they're writing it on the dry erase board, they're writing it in their notebook, so they're moving. They're writing these letters, these words, these sounds in different places and in different ways. And it's exciting different parts of their brain in order to help them solidify their learning. One of the other things that you can do, and while they're doing it, the auditory part comes in, it's the visual, it's the tactile, and the auditory part. So they're doing C, A, T, cat. And so they're saying those sounds, putting them together while they're doing those different things. Another thing to do with students who have problems remembering letters, remembering the letter sounds, associating the letters with those sounds, is to make different types of alphabet books. So this one, I got this from one of my old trusty dusty favorites. It's called Alternatives to Worksheets. And so you're creating your own ABC book. So when they're a part of creating their own ABC book, it again anchors that learning for them because they were a part of creating their own ABC book. So this one is about alphabet nouns. So here's C for clown. So they get to, you write the C down, they get to think about a picture to associate with that letter, they get to draw it, or you can draw it, they get to color it. So they're a part of making this alphabet book. Now, you wouldn't make the entire one, you're making it slowly as you go and learn these letter sounds. If there's a letter like this one, like the letter C, that has two different sounds associated with it, so here's clown, and then you can also do that little clown, but then within a picture of a circus. And so the C is clown and also circus. So that you can make two pages for this particular letter so that when they're looking through their alphabet book, they're associating, oh yeah, C has two different sounds. And then here's V for valley. So you're again creating an alphabet book that meets their needs, that they can associate that sound with. Because you can purchase these types of books and these letters and things like that, but when it's something that's more meaningful to them, that's when that learning sticks with them. Another way to do it is creating an alphabet book that's a tactile book. So for C right here they'd have an idea of cotton balls. So the C is made out of cotton balls. So when they see that and they feel it, they'll associate that with cotton balls. And then the M there for macaroni. So again, you can create some different ABC books, one with picture association right here, and one with tactile association to it. So there's a bunch of really great ideas in books like this, Alternatives to Worksheets, to help those students out. If you want to learn more about helping students who have difficulties with reading or with learning, definitely stay tuned to our Tuesday teaching tips. We have all kinds of tips, including teaching and ideas for students with learning difficulties, but also for students who are going off to college, students who need help in math, students who need help with Spanish classes. So our Tuesday Teaching Tips has a broad array of information, helpful hints for homeschooling. See you next week.